I don't want to make this video because it's so stupid. People can't understand simple laws and procedures that are in place to keep other people from being on your property if you don't want them to be there. It's called trespassing. And if a company has private property, and it works the same way for your house, has private property and they say, I don't want you here anymore, and you don't leave, then they can call the police, and it's the police's duty to remove them from your property. It's that simple. It is so simple, but by God, it is so easy to say, man, police are just racist. You guys already know I'm talking about the Starbucks thing. 10 million views on the original video, and I'm a racist. I'm being called a racist on Twitter.
Don't get no fight with them. Don't get no fight with them. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous. What did they get called for? Because there are two black guys sitting here meeting me?
Yes,
Well, what did they do? What did they do? Did someone tell me what they did?
They didn't do anything. I saw the entire thing.
They didn't.
What did they do?
Nothing. And the woman said it's for paying customers only and after they didn't do anything.
According to reports, there were two black guys sitting in a Starbucks. They wanted to use the restroom. The Starbucks employees said, well, those restrooms are only for paying customers. They said no. That means now they're trespassing. That's illegal. The police show up to do their job. They didn't run in there and throw handcuffs on them. They asked them several times nicely to leave, and they told the police no. Trespassing. They were placed in handcuffs, taken down to the police station. Starbucks said they didn't want to press any charges, and they were released. It's the same thing if a person walked into your front yard and you said, hey, leave, and they said no, and you called the police, and the police showed up and said leave, and they said no, and they get arrested. That's trespassing. Hold on, the CEO of Starbucks comes out and says that this incident was reprehensible. Starbucks CEO Kevin Johnson stated that Starbucks stands firmly against discrimination or racial profiling. At least the Starbucks CEO isn't blaming the police. He said the basis for the call to the Philadelphia Police Department was wrong, which if someone's not leaving your private property, then that's usually who you call them. Just whatever. Someone on Twitter said there's no law, Donut, that says you can be arrested if you don't buy something in a store. That's not the point. The point is they didn't want them there. They didn't want to leave. The police tried to make them leave. They still wouldn't leave. They were arrested. It's not a difficult or racist concept. Philadelphia chapter of Black Lives Matter were there. They were going into Starbucks and confronting the manager and asking them what was going on, and they were protesting. Kevin Hart even came out with a message to Starbucks. He says, our city is shining bright like a diamond right now. Please make the situation right. I repeat, please make the situation right. Once again, make this right. What are we making right? They weren't even charged with anything. What does Starbucks need to make right about two people that refused to leave their private property? And the police had to be called in to do their dirty work and uphold their duty of making someone leave someone else's private property. Just to top it all off, Police Commissioner Richard Ross, a black man, came out and said he stands by his officers in this decision.
On Thursday, at about 4:40, police received a 911 call for a disturbance and trespassing. When the police arrived, they were met by Starbucks employees who said that two males were trespassing and had refused to leave the establishment. According to employees, they had seen these two males come in, they sat down, and after being seated, they decided that they needed to use the restroom. Starbucks said that according to their company policy, they do not allow non-paying members or non-paying people of the public to come in and use the restroom. And so they then asked these two males to leave. These two males refused to leave, and the police were called. Now, when the police were summoned to the scene, they get there and they get the story that I just began to outline. They then approached the males. They asked the males to leave because they're being asked to leave by Starbucks employees. In fact, in an effort to quell the situation, officers actually called for a supervisor so that it would not get out of hand, something that was a good decision. And 3 different occasions, the officers asked the males politely to leave the location because they were being asked to leave by employees because they were trespassing. Instead, the males continued to refuse, as they had told the employees previously, and they told the officers that they were not leaving. When the call was initially made, the Starbucks employees had told the males that they were going to call police, and they said, go ahead and call police, we don't care. So police get there and they're confronted by the same type of attitude and repeatedly are told that they're not leaving. In fact, there's some alleged rhetoric about you don't know what you're doing, you're only a $45,000 a year employee or something to that regard. And so because these individuals refused to leave, because Starbucks actually called, the police did not just happen upon this event. They did not just walk into Starbucks to get coffee. They were called there for a service, and that service had to do with quelling a disturbance that had to do with trespassing. These officers did absolutely nothing wrong. They followed policy. They did what they were supposed to do. They were professional in all their dealings with these gentlemen, and instead they got the opposite back. I will say that as an African-American male, I am very aware of implicit bias. We are committed to fair and unbiased policing, and anything less than that will not be tolerated in this department.
If you're mad about this situation, please let me know in the comments below why you're mad. I've personally arrested white people, black people, Asian people, disabled people, lots of different kinds of people for not leaving somewhere that is private property. I'm here to stand up for the police officers because they were just there doing what they were supposed to do because Starbucks didn't want those two gentlemen there and the two gentlemen refused to leave. They were asked nicely by Starbucks employees. They were asked nicely by the police officers. They still didn't want to leave, and that's what happened. If you're angry about this situation, even after you heard one of the highest ranking members of the Philadelphia Police Department speak on it, then please let me know why you're angry in the comments below. Everyone, this is Donut. The Super Troopers 2 meetup is going to be on Friday. Go ahead and buy your tickets if you need to. You can check out the link to buy your tickets on the event Facebook post I made on facebook.com/donutoperator. I'm going to be streaming here in a few minutes. Check out donutoperator.com for some pretty sweet shirts. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to me at twitch.tv/donutoperator for free. Everyone have a fantastic day.